Alright, so let me do a walkthrough. This is the stuff that I was working on for this shell build. Create an icon for the game and load it up. Change the date and credit screen was an issue that I had. I worked mostly on doing like linking up the asset manager to a load screen so we can have visual representation of stuff loading instead of loading it right before I need it. The only thing that I don't have really done on there is like printing to the screen as something's loading. That's because I don't have everything linked up. There's an issue that I noticed, which I may end up having to rewrite a lot of code to get it 100% operational. Creating focal points, I do have them, and I have methods to pass it to the camera style class. I'll have to play around with it a whole lot more to be able to pass it to the roving NPCs as they're in the spawn generator class, and I'll have to set up methods for that. So it's basically set up for me to be able to pass, and I've tested it out with 4 points that I've created using the tiled mapper, the tiled map editor, and I don't have, well, I have it stored as an array to be able to pull, and then, yeah, so this is basically done. I'll show up with the code. And there was a couple other issues that I had. One was resizing the credit screen and have it scroll. Yep, and then a couple other fixes. So let me show you where that's at. So this is working through the loading screen, and then it jumps here. Let me show that again. So each one of the Redbeards, they will increase as assets get loaded. Right now I don't have a lot of stuff linked in. So if we're looking at the loading screen, when I'm loading those things, I have plugs for being able to put in fonts, full music for like in the game. And then, I kick it off and set it basically a timer. So that's set up. There is issues with how I built my utility class being static, as I think it's causing issues when I'm trying to do sound. So when I click on credits, I don't hear the sound anymore. And I'm getting this audio output flag fast denied by client. I'm still researching that. But now this is scrolling. I have that. I have my back button activated for me to hit back. I can go in the game. The sound works in here. So I'm moving. Okay, I can hit back to go back to the main menu. If I hit new game, I go back into it. Go back again, I can hit exit, and it closes the app. I still do need to dispose of a lot of things, but for the most part, that's the code. So the utility, I started using the methods that I created for doing the loading bar, which that's what I'm checking out. I'll go back to that. So now I have it set up for loading sounds and separately for loading the loading screen asset. So now those are two separate atlas files here. This is my loading atlas right here, and my Redbeard atlas. So I can load stuff quickly for just loading screen, and then I can load the other stuff as we're going on. So this is loaded after I have the loading screen going. Credits, to change the credits, I mentioned that. Change the text sizes. The camera styles now can take that focal point. What is that? Map Manager. So Map Manager, this is where I'm setting the focal points, pulling it from the tiled map data. If I'm looking at the tiled map, these are the examples of my 4 points. So I can capture those X and Y values as vectors, and then in the class here, when I'm setting those focal points in the main game screen, I can pass that as a reference to a vector array, vector 2 array for focal points, which is manager. Well, it's somewhere in here. I just passed it. Focal points 126. There it is. I just looked past it. So I can call it from there. And then the icon, I do have that set up. It's in the res folder. I have for all the different sizes. So there's all the different sizes. All right. So that's basically my code walkthrough for the shell build. Yeah, there's going to be some issues of things that I'm going to have to work on down the road when I have a little bit more time with the asset manager, as I really do want to get that set up, but I think I got to rewrite and have asset manager pass from the main Redbeard game and pass to basically, I think I'm going to set it up where I'm passing it to the utility, and then I'm loading directly instead of using that utility loader, and then I can just access the loading screen through the Redbeard parent. It'll just take a little bit to set it up. Okay, all right, thank you.